Hello, Field Science. I wanted to take a couple moments to share with you how we're going to be classifying our fuel sizes for our mini unit on fire. So part of our nature skills that we're going to be teaching you this year is how to build fire and how to start the fire just using wood, primarily a bow drill at this point. So the sheet we're going to be using looks like this. And it says building a teepee fire. And you can fill it out as we go through, but I mostly wanted to show you what we're talking about here. So you will be asked to arrange different fuel sizes in its order around your fire pit when it's time to actually start building the fire. But let's just start with what we're talking about here. So if you look on your paper, it says starter. And on here, you can either draw or write or both so that you're clear. But you should have something written on here because either myself or Mrs. Healy or Mrs. Stroth, someone's going to come around and they're going to check this at some point and see that you actually have written things on here. So you should write or draw on there so that you're clear. One of the questions I get asked the most once we start building fire is, what do you mean kindling? What do you mean starter? What's pinky size? I'm confused, and it's not that hard once you set out to do it. So the starter is going to be really fine material. Most of you are going to have a bow drill kit. You'll have something like this in there. So if you can see this in the camera, it's very, very fine. It's very fibrous material. Easy to catch a little hot coal or a spark in there. And then once you do, you can pick it up and blow on it. Smoke, smoke, blow on it more, flame. So this is what you're going to use as your initial contact point between your hot coal or your hot spark and matter, which is what this is. And then once this gets going, you need to have something quickly ready to throw on top of it, because as you can imagine, something this light is going to burn really fast. It'll burn fast and it'll be gone, and all you'll be left with are some little charred pieces of starter on the ground, which is not what you want. So as soon as this starts burning, the next thing you should grab is what we call kindling. Now kindling is easy to find because it's all over the forest floor. It's all over the place. So we're talking about really small sticks and sometimes leaves, but leaves can be wetter than you think. And same thing with stalks. I grabbed some here. I might be willing to give them a try, but the most tried and true are going to be small little sticks, and you should have a big bundle of these so that once that starter starts to go, you can throw these right on top, and these will start to catch here, which is going to give you a little more burning time to get ready for your next size. So kindling, small little sticks, you find them all over the forest floor. And then the starter, of course, is this fine fibrous material. So starter, and on top of the starter goes the kindling. Then what you want to have is what I call pinky size sticks. Now, getting that, you might have already guessed, by the size of a usual pinky. So these sticks are going to be about as fat around as a pinky finger is, or your pinky finger. And you want to have, again, a big bundle of these, because what you're going to do is you're going to put these on top of your kindling, and you'll start to arrange these around in a little teepee fashion. Now, you don't need to build the teepee before the fire. The fire is not going to be that hot at this point. It's just going to have some starter on there. It's going to have the kindling on there, which looks like this, again. So when these things are burning, you can get your fingers pretty close to it. I'm not asking you to touch it, or, I mean, you need to be careful. But what I'm saying is you don't need to spend all this time building a teepee before you light the fire, unless you really, really want to, but it tends not to work out as well for people. So once you have the kindling going, you can take these pinky size ones, you can arrange them all around the fire, and this will help give you, again, more burning time. So by the time you get these arranged, now for the first time when I'm building these, for the first time when I get my pinky size on there, I could be like, whew, okay, I have a fire. Now, what next? And the next thing that's going to come from our paper here, we can see, is going to be thumb size. So the thumb size ones, as if you're following along here, it's going to be the size of a thumb. So you want to have some of these, I would say 15 or 20 of these lying around your fire, and you're going to throw these on top of the pinky size one, again, arranging it in a teepee fashion, so that's the most efficient way that fuel is going to burn. All right, so once we have these on there, the next thing that, once you move past thumb size, in my opinion, you're moving from sticks to logs, small logs. So the okay size sticks are going to be ones that are this fat around. So again, okay, that little sign like, hey, okay, this fat around. So this is what we're talking about here. So these guys are I mean, you probably only need 6 or 7 of these to get started. And you're going to put these on top of the thumb size. And once those are burning, at this point, you can really walk away from the fire once you have your okay size sticks going. And some people, depending on what you're using your fire for, you might just keep it at okay size. There's times I'm building just a cooking fire, and if I have to cook something that doesn't really need a ton of cooking time, like let's say I'm heating up a can of soup that I brought with me camping or something, I don't need to build a giant fire, take a lot of time and burn a lot of fuel with that, because all I'm doing is taking soup, which is already cooked from a can, and pouring it into like a cup or something, and putting that cup over the fire. I just need to get warm. So I don't need to go much further than that. But if you're making a fire where you need to dry things out, or you need to warm up, or you want it to burn all night because you're going to be sleeping by it, maybe it's pretty cold out, at that point you want to move on to wrist size sticks. Now these ones are going to be the size of a wrist or like a forearm. So we're looking at things like, this. Now these things here, I mean, in my opinion, if someone says, what is this, a stick or a log? I would call it a log. So we're really talking about small size logs here. You get, 5 or 6 of these thrown on the fire. Now you have plenty of time. These are going to burn for a good, 30 minutes or so. And at that point, you can go grab bigger logs if you intend on keeping the fire burning all night. So, so on our paper here, you guys should have things written down for starter, like light fiber material, like draw a little fuzzy thing, kindling, little small sticks you find laying all over the place in the woods, draw like a little bunch of those. Pinky size, you might want to, if you're good at drawing, you might want to draw like a pinky, or if you're not, like write wood that's the size of a pinky. Thumb size, same thing. Thumb, draw it if you can, or write wood that's about as fat around as a thumb. Okay size and wrist size. On the back, it says arrangement around the fire spot. I'm going to have a separate video that I made last year to explain what that is. So I'll have that linked along with this one, so you can see that in a different one. And the teepee structure is going to be our most efficient way of burning wood. I'm going to leave that up to you. What I'm saying is you should probably just Google a teepee fire if you don't know what one is, and then put it onto here and draw it on here. But really, at the center of the teepee fire is your smallest fuel, and then as you move out from there, it's like a side profile here, so rocks here. As you move out from there, you're going to have larger sticks. So I'll leave it up to you. I think it's a challenge. You figure out what you think the structure of a teepee fire is, and then I will put, probably as a separate post, I'll put my own drawing of it. Sometimes I don't like to give students too much stuff up front, because then they don't think themselves like, how should a teepee fire be arranged? How would I draw that? So I want you to do that, and then in a day or two I'll put my own drawing up and we'll see if yours matches mine. If you guys have any questions about this, make sure you ask your teacher. We will be out soon, and you guys we're not going to let you start to work the bow drill until you have the fuel arranged in an order. And then once you start the fire, you are going to be asked to put it in the correct teepee form, which is going to be your key to success for keeping that fire going. So each year we have had people start fires from wood, so please believe in yourself, believe that you can do it, and hopefully you can. But it is challenging depending on who you are. I've always had trouble building fires from wood. I've done so 6 or 7 times in my life, but I've done so 6 or 7 times in my life, but some people find it really easy. I usually share this with class. My younger brother is very good at it. He took to it very quickly, I should say. And he's probably built like 30 or 40. And even now, if we go out camping and things, if I ask if he can do it, and I give him some tools like a bow drill kit that I either made or one that he has made, has laying around, he can usually start that fire excuse me, without any difficulty where it would take me a couple hours to get it. So I think sometimes it's technique and sometimes it's just luck, magic. I'm not sure. All right, so good luck with it. Please make sure this sheet is filled out, and we'll be checking. Thanks.